All right, good to have you back today. We're going to talk about the great Django Reinhardt standard called Nuages and the interest that there is there in the harmony and as well as the beautiful melody. I played this on a previous video. If you want to check out what the song sounds like on guitar, please check out that video. That'll give you an idea of what we're looking at today. Now, before I embark, today I'm playing a guitar by a student of mine who built this guitar. I commissioned the guitar, and it's called a Hugh Greenwood. I think it's a number 7, and it's 14 frets to the body. It's BC cedar on the top, old growth cedar on the top, and you can't see the back and sides, but you know, ebony fretboard. It's like a classical guitar, except it's 14 frets to the body, which allows me to get up further without a cutaway, which I don't, you know, cutaways don't always. They don't work when it comes to a more acoustic guitar. So anyway, that's another topic. Nuage. So the first little bit here goes like this, and it starts with no chord at the beginning, and then immediately the chord that's implied here is actually a B minor, right? So it's a passing tone up to the minor third and back to the fifth with this little chromatic line down. So, you know, that's really B minor. It's the 3 chord of G major. And we're in G major. But there is going to be some pretty cool modulations. You know, as I've said in the past, key signatures don't necessarily always give you an accurate idea of what the song is going to do when it comes to jazz tunes. But you know, this sort of wanders around G and eventually resolves to G, and we're going to discuss that a little bit. So that first line it implies the B minor, even though the B minor is not played. So the first chord that's indicated is a B flat minor. So it goes down to that B flat minor with the E flat 7, which is really cool because it suggests now, if we're to look at that as a 2-5 progression, it would be a 2-5. And it would want to resolve to A flat, right? A 2-5 in A flat. If you're going to improvise over this 2-5, I would choose A flat. Right? And then from there, B flat, 2-5 in A flat, A minor 7 flat 5, D7 flat 9 is a 2-5 in not G major, it's a 2-5 in G minor. Now that is really, really cool. So if I were to improvise over that A minor 7 flat 5, D7 flat 9, I would get the augmented or the raised 7. And then that with the 3 and the flat 6. See, it sounds right to me. And then it resolves to G major. Isn't that cool? So the A minor 7 flat 5 to the D7 flat 9 imply G minor, but then we resolved to G major and how we work our way up: G major, G6, to the 2-chord A minor, to the 3-chord B minor, which is now revealed because it's the same line again. And then we do the same thing over again, right? A flat, A minor 7 flat 5, because of that little trick being played with minor and suggesting minor but going to major. There's a few minor scales that you could use, and then we resolve to the G6. Okay, and then this is cool. F sharp minor 7 flat 5 to the B7. I'm just playing it as a B7 with a flat 9, and this would suggest a 2-5 to E minor, and that's exactly where it goes. So how does the E minor relate to the G major? E minor is the relative minor of G major. Okay, so now we're in this little E minor place, and then we have that little line leading to the A7, so it's really like a slow 2-5, like E minor, right, to the A7 is a 2-5, and then this chromatic A7, which is almost like going to a D7, like in a blues, right, like from a 1 to a 4 and back to the 1, right. And then, and so if you're soloing over an A7, you can use all your blues licks, and then if you wanted to treat that as a 4, and then we come up to the D. Let me just pick up my guitar here. To the D7, and then a 2-5, and then we're back to the same line. Oh, by the way, D7 is just a 5-chord in the key of G, right? So we're always playing toward that G. But it's ambiguous, and then we have the same line again with our 2-5 in A flat, 2-5 in G minor, resolving to the parallel major. And I'm just walking up to the 2 and 3, and then. So this is really, really neat. Same line, except I'm up a 4th. And now we're doing the same progression from the 4-chord. And E minor to the A flat 7 to the minor 7 flat 5, implying that we're going to move to a minor, but we go to a major. So it's exactly the same chord progression, only happening with from the 4, from the C major, right? So if so this does a minor 7 flat 5 to a 13 flat 9, if you will, which implies, right, minor, and then major. Okay, and so it does exactly the same thing. Just wanting to be clear on that. And then we're in C major, and then where are we now? We've got right major, and then walking up. And then we have, I'll just play the chord progression in the guitar arrangement. I go all the way up to the top, but we don't need to look at that now. C minor, F7, C minor, F7. So it's playing around with that parallel major, parallel minor idea. One of the most common chord progressions that you'll find in all Western music is the progression that goes from the 1, in this case G, to the 4, to the 4 minor, and to the related flat 7 chord. So, and that's what's happening here. We're going first to the major 4 chord, and then to the minor, with its related 5, C minor, F13, F7, whatever, and then that. Some people call this a backdoor dominant, which is, I'm only saying that because some people call it that. It's not. It's the dominant that's related to the parallel minor. And then we're back to the 1 and 2 and 3, right? And then we have our same little line to that in A flat. And then that implied minor. So this very strong. Listen, minor, 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 and then resolution. Right? It's lovely. So this tune is like a textbook example of parallel major and minor. When I say parallel major and minor, what we're talking about is not relative major and minor, which I've pointed out before in other videos. It's not relative major and minor. The relative minor to G major is E minor. It does at one point in this tune go to the relative minor with its own related 2 and 5, but that's a whole different trip than the parallel G major and G minor. A minor tonality and a major tonality with the same tonal center, right? And it goes further than just the 1 chord. It goes to a 2 and a 5 in minor, leading to a major chord, right? So it's playing with that throughout, and that's what gives it this wealth of richness, of harmonic richness. It's just a brilliant piece of work, and it sounds so romantic. It's so lavish, so lovely, so not obvious, right? And even when I started learning this, it was not obvious to me. So I had to, do an analysis and play it more and more, and it starts to reveal itself. So as far as you learning how to play a tune like this, start with just comping through the chords. I think would be a good idea. I'm trying to keep my neck in place here. Try to comp through the chords. Just take the let's just take the pickup and pretend you're the rhythm player. Like that. And there's the 2/5 in minor resolving to the major, and you can climb up. Here's the 2 of the relative minor, the 5 of the relative minor of E minor, and then going to the 5 chord, and then like a 4/7, just a dominant substitution, and then we do the same thing again, right? This is a great way to familiarize yourself with the progression. And then we move to that C idea, right? And you can walk up. I'm just throwing these chords in. You can walk up with those chords as well. I should just be comping. I just wanted to bring in context. So that's designed. This lesson's designed to sort of help you through this song called Nuages, played by Django Reinhardt. I would strongly suggest listening to Django play this tune. And many, and there obviously there are many others as well, and maybe this removes some of the mystery of the tune. It's one thing to look at the chords one at a time and say, oh, that's a 2/5 in the key of A flat, and that's a 2/5, in the key of G minor, and that kind of thing. But really, what this is about is parallel major and minor, and the harmony, the same type of harmony that's used in the case of the G, the flat 3 minor going to the 2 and the 5 from minor is used in from the 4 chord as well. So we have the flat 3 minor and the 2 and the 5 in a minor key going to the major key, and I'm just adding those passing chords of 2 and 3. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon.